Tee. Welcome. You are here in the lab room. Louie Tee live, breaking down all Week 3 preseason games in the National Football League. Los Angeles Rams on the road taking on the Denver Broncos. Two teams searching for quarterbacks. Two young quarterbacks, two first-round pick quarterbacks, kind of waiting in the wings behind some guys that I think are stopgap options. We'll talk about this game here in a second, but first, foremost, I want to talk about the different ways you can contact the show. First and foremost, if this is your first time visiting the channel, welcome. Subscribe to the channel, LouieTeeNetwork, for more great content in 2016 and beyond. There's also Twitter. @InTheLabRoom is the Twitter handle. Give me a follow there. And also on Facebook, In the Lab Room is the Facebook page. Give me a thumbs up and a like there as well. So if you want to contact the show, have your voice heard, the way you can do that is simply leaving the hashtag #LouieTeeLive, whether you're on the actual live feed itself on YouTube, or you're on Twitter, or you're on Facebook. All rules apply. Hashtag #LouieTeeLive. All of the social media platforms right below my beautiful face. So let's talk about the Los Angeles Rams taking on the Denver Broncos. And the way I like to discuss the game and the way that I like to categorize things: likes, dislikes, banana in the tailpipe. And all that is the things that I liked in the game. It's simple, very self-explanatory. Things that I disliked in the game from both teams. And finally, the banana in the tailpipe, something I'm not falling for. May have seen it in this game, may have liked it, may have disliked it. Whatever the case may be, I'm not falling for the oldest trick in the book, the banana in the tailpipe. I saw something in this game, but I'm like, not so that that's what we're going to get necessarily in 2016 just because I saw it in this game. So, sound good to you? Sounds good to me. Let's jump into likes, dislikes, banana in the tailpipe. Like, dislike, banana in the tailpipe.
What y'all, the second team?
We're the first team.
Yeah, we're not gonna fall for a banana in the tailpipe.
You're not gonna fall for the banana in the tailpipe?
So, I want to start with the road team. I always start with the road team, and that would be the Los Angeles Rams in this case. The first thing that I liked in this game from the Los Angeles Rams point of view is the speed and the physicality of that defense. My, oh my, was that on full display in this game. The Broncos came out and decided the first two possessions, we're not going to throw a pass. We're going to send Trevor Siemian out, which, this is the third preseason game. Usually we look at it as the dress rehearsal, and if you're having a quarterback battle in camp and into the preseason, that quarterback that gets the nod in the third preseason game likely going to be your Week 1 starter. In the Broncos case, Trevor Siemian gets the nod in the third preseason game. By all accounts, he's going to be their Week 1 starter. They showed no confidence in him in the first two possessions. Ran the ball 3 times on the first possession, 3 and out. Ran the ball again 3 times, 3 and out on the second possession. And the Rams showed their speed and physicality on both of those possessions. There was a 3rd and 1 on one of those possessions, not happening against this Rams defense. They plugged, and matter of fact, 4th and 1, as a matter of fact, and they plugged the hole up. I thought Mark Barron filled that gap with that aggression, that speed, that physicality that teams are looking for. We talk about all these teams looking for their Deone Buchanan, their Mark Barron. You see why he filled that hole, and then the rest of that defense kind of followed suit and swallowed up the running back for a no gain, 1-yard loss and turnover on downs. The speed was on display. There was one running play. C.J. Anderson on a 3rd and 2 tries to run to the outside. And as he stiff arms one Ram defender as he's trying to get to the edge, to the outside, here comes Alec Ogletree out of nowhere, gobbles him up for a 1-yard gain. Stops him 1 yard short of the sticks. Got to punt the football. Aaron Donald gets into the backfield on a 1st down carry. Swallows the running back up for about a 3-yard loss. This defense, Michael Brocker's first play of the game, into the backfield. Tackle for a 1-yard loss. This speed and physicality of this defense is ridiculous. You saw it on full display, and Jeff Fisher had seen enough. By the third possession of the game, these guys were done. And so this defense is legit, folks. Again, it's going to come down to what they're getting out of the quarterback position, and can Todd Gurley carry this team offensively with his legs? Yet again, we'll find out in 2016. Hopefully he won't have to, but with, again, Case Keenum at the helm, I have my doubts. Let's go to the tight end position. This is another like for me. I liked what I saw out of Lance Kendricks in this game, and also liked what I saw out of Tyler Higbee. And I was a huge Tyler Higbee fan, as you all know if you watched me during the draft process. I talked very glowingly about Tyler Higbee and his skill set and what it would mean for this Rams offense. Well, you saw a little bit of that in this game, but more importantly, Lance Kendricks coming to the forefront. Made some huge plays, big catch over the middle of the field. Really good throw by Case Keenum over the linebacker before the safety could come down and get to Lance Kendricks right in that little honey hole. That was a tremendous throw. Had that Drew Brees-esque feel to it. And Lance Kendricks had a big game. He was huge on both of the field goal possessions led by one Case Keenum. So the tight end position looks like a huge strength. And for a team that lacks that oomph, that number one wide receiver, you're going to need guys at the tight end position to step up. You saw that in this game from the Los Angeles Rams. Let's get to the dislikes in this football game. Settling for field goals, okay? You're not good enough. If you're the Rams, you're not good enough to find your way down the field on a 70-yard drive and not get in the end zone, okay? You can't have a 11-play, 71-yard drive and you needed 74 for a touchdown. It just can't happen. Can't have the 10-play, 69-yard drive and you needed 77 for a touchdown. Got to find a way to get in the end zone. And look, I know you were playing against the Denver Broncos and they're one of the best defenses in the entire National Football League. I get that. Got to find a way to get in. And I know there was no Todd Gurley. He's an all true man, yeah, baby. No Todd Gurley in this game. I understand. Find a way to get in the end zone. They didn't do that in this game, settling for 3 field goals from young Jeezy. Jared Goff got injured. Look, man, you know how I feel about injuries. Not a fan of them. Not a fan of them at all, especially this time of the year. Now, he's just fine. Heard him speak after the game, and he said that he took a little x-ray. It was all precautionary. Injured his tailbone, his back a little bit, did some x-rays. Everything checked out. He's just fine. But he did get walloped in this game, took a couple of shots, and they just wanted to make sure that he was okay. Again, want to steer clear of the injuries, especially for the young pups. Can't play and get better if you're on the sidelines nursing injuries. So good to know that he is going to be fine and he'll get to play in week 4 of the preseason. Banana in the tailpipe for the Los Angeles Rams. Case Keenum in this offense. I thought Case Keenum actually ran the offense effectively. Didn't do anything great. Didn't move the earth with his play. But what he did was he ran the offense effectively. He didn't make any mistakes, even though he probably could have been picked off once or twice in this game. I thought he ran the offense effectively, got rid of the football, didn't hold on to it, didn't take any senseless sacks. Did take a senseless shot by the sidelines by Aqib Talib because he decided he wanted to slow up and put the brakes on right by the sidelines. I thought it was a good hit, and I didn't think it was necessary. It's the preseason. It was sort of like the Sean Taylor Pro Bowl hit on Brian Moorman, the punter. It's unnecessary. You don't have to do it, but if you give me an opportunity, why not? And that's what he took. And so get out of bounds. What are you doing, Case? But anyway, in any event, I'm not sold. I'm not falling for the banana in the tailpipe that Case Keenum is going to be able to lead this team to anything offensively. I'm just not. Okay, he's Case Keenum. End of discussion. Case Keenum is not going to be what the Rams need at the quarterback position. That's why they drafted Jared Goff. So for me, the banana in the tailpipe here, Case Keenum, he's not going to lead this Los Angeles Rams football team where they ultimately want to go. And that's winning ball games. And I don't know. Jeff Fisher probably going to still keep his job no matter what. It just seems like he's one of those guys that's invincible, much like Marvin Lewis in Cincinnati. Let's go to the Denver Broncos in this game and talk about the things that I liked. Von Miller. First things first. I just drool over Von Miller. When I watch him play, this guy is just ridiculous, okay? Derrick Thomas had the fastest get-off I had ever seen in my life as a rush outside linebacker / defensive end. His first step was the first step that you measured everyone else's first step to. If you're talking about explosion off the snap, you probably won't find a more explosive get-off than Derrick Thomas. May he rest in peace. The closest thing I've seen to that in my life is Von Miller. And that first step is so explosive. We saw it in Super Bowl 50. You saw it again tonight. The first third down of the game, he runs a full circle around the tackle, lapped him, as a matter of fact, got to Case Keenum and put him down on his back before he even knew what happened. Literally, shotgun snap, gets the football in his hands, and he looks up, and here comes 58 coming at him with raw aggression. He just jumped down on the ground, was like, look, man, I don't want any trouble. And so that's Von Miller in a nutshell. The guy is a freak. And so he makes this defense go. He powers this defense. And it goes without saying, but I'm one of those guys that hates to go without saying. If you earn that type of accolade, I'm going to make sure I give you the credit that you deserve. And Von Miller is an absolute monster in this league. Emmanuel Sanders. I'm going to tell you this right now. I said this. He's close to being the best receiver on this team. Okay? But what he is the most reliable receiver on this team. Now, he's damn close to being the best. Demaryius Thomas is 1A, he's 1B. I don't want to put him ahead of Demaryius Thomas because when Demaryius Thomas is on his game, he's much more of a problem because of his size. Okay? Has a rare combination of size and speed that can change a game, but Emmanuel Sanders doesn't drop the football. Demaryius Thomas does. Emmanuel Sanders in this football game for me showed exactly why he is much more reliable. Demaryius Thomas, a couple of drops early in the game. Emmanuel Sanders made plays for a young quarterback that needed to see a guy catch the football and make a play for him. You know how it is with shooters, when they just need to see the ball go in the hoop. When you're putting and you're having trouble and you just need to see the ball go in the hole. That young quarterback, Trevor Siemian, just needed to see a completion. He just needed to see somebody get a first down and give him some confidence. Demaryius Thomas wasn't giving him that. He was putting the football on the carpet. Emmanuel Sanders says, hey, young fella, I got you. Get me the football. Give me the rock. I got you. Love Emmanuel Sanders. Love what he brings to the table. Love his competitive spirit. To me, he's the most reliable receiver the Broncos have on their roster. You saw it in this football game. Again, finally, the Broncos D. I actually got two more. The Broncos defense. Man, oh man. I think there's going to be a slight drop-off, and not because of them, and I'll talk about that here in a second. But man, are they so good. Good gracious in this game. I just watched them fly around. I'm watching the defensive backs break on footballs. Bradley Roby, Chris Harris Jr., they're all over the football. Safeties breaking on balls. TJ Ward had a breakup. They can go so deep into that bench. Guys were laying the wood. I mean, man, they just flew to the football in this game. They were hitting guys with reckless abandon. And I said, you do realize this is a third preseason game. It's not actually a regular season game. They said, I don't give a damn. We hitting folks. We making plays on the football. We getting after the quarterback. This is a ferocious defense. And I don't think they're going to have enough gas in the tank when it's all said and done because of how much pressure this offense is going to put on them throughout the season. But man, oh man, this defense is as good as advertised. Saw it again in this football game. Even when they give up yards, they still didn't allow the Rams to get into the end zone. And the last light for the Broncos in this game, intrigued by Devontae Booker. Devontae Booker, rookie running back out of Utah. There's big things in the plans for him in Denver. John Elway, who came on the telecast, said it himself. I see big things in his future. I told you during the draft process that the minute he sets foot on the field, he will be the best running back the Broncos got on the roster. And I meant that when I said it, and I mean it right now. Before this season's done, he's going to be getting the lion's share of the carries. Feel good about saying that. And I saw some explosiveness, saw the vision on a screen pass that they threw to him, cut back against the grain, used the blocker, set him up, then used the vision to cut back and pick up another 8 yards when another back would have just run into the back of his offensive lineman and picked up another 2. That's what this guy brings to the table. And I think if he can just fine-tune a couple of things, pass protection, that sort of thing, he's going to be just fine in Denver. Let's go to the dislikes for the Broncos in this football game. It's the offense. First things first, offense. I don't like what I see out of this offense. And mainly it's the quarterback position. And Trevor Siemian wasn't terrible in this game. But again, for this Broncos defense and how good they are, they just need a little bit of help. And he threw an interception, could have thrown another one. Had some passes that weren't on the mark. He's leaving receivers out to dry. One of the drops that Demaryius Thomas had was one where he was like, business decision. Bruh, it's preseason game number 3. You about to get me blazed in preseason game number 3. Do you not want me to play in week 1? Because this is a concussion hit you trying to set me up on. What are you doing, man? That's not smart. You need to wash your face and get your mind right, man. So, again, when you got the young boys at quarterback, they don't know any better, man. They'll set you up, man. They'll send you right to the safety. They'll send you right to the linebacker. They don't know no better. So, this offense is going to struggle a little bit. They're going to try to rely on the run game. How effective will that be? That's anybody's guess right now, but they're going to struggle offensively, I think, in Denver. And I think because of the struggles of the offense, because of some turnovers you get with a young quarterback, he's essentially a rookie. Even though he was in the league last year, he's still a rookie because he didn't play last year. You need experience. Watching doesn't really help. You need to play in this league. It does help when you can learn the fine points of the game, the final points of the game, learn how to study, learn how to become a pro from a guy. That's all great. But in terms of experience, you only get that by doing one thing. That's playing. And he didn't play last year. Okay, so he's essentially a rookie. He's going to make rookie mistakes. They're going to struggle offensively. I saw it in this game. I saw it in this game when the Rams' first team defense was on the field. They did nothing offensively. It wasn't until the Rams took all of their first team starters out of the game. That's when they started to be able to run the football with effectiveness. That's when he started to have time in the pocket. That's when Trevor Siemian got comfortable. That's when they actually scored their lone touchdown of the game in the first half with Trevor Siemian quarterbacking the football team. When the Rams took all of their starters out of the game. When that first team defense was in the game, Trevor Siemian did nothing, and the Rams defense said, you'll like it. So that's that for me. Cody Latimer injured his knee, and it didn't look good. He was on the sideline being attended to by a couple of trainers. Don't know the severity, but of course he didn't return to the game. And the last time I saw him, he looked like he was in some pain and some discomfort, and he had a couple of trainers working on him on the sideline. So he's a guy that they're looking to this year to start to have a little bit of an impact. And that would suck if that's an injury that's going to keep him out any amount of substantial time. Hopefully, he's just fine. Again, you know how I feel about injuries at any point, especially this point of the season. And finally, the banana in the tailpipe for the Denver Broncos in this game. And it really, I feel bad for this Broncos defense because they're going to have to do it again. And the banana in the tailpipe for me is the Broncos defense and their ability to carry this team on their back. I'm not sold that this version of the Broncos defense is going to be able to do that because I think they're going to have even more pressure. And I know a lot of people said, hey, Peyton Manning stunk last year and Brock Osweiler wasn't that much better. But it was still Peyton Manning and Brock Osweiler wasn't a complete train wreck. Okay, he came in, he managed the game well, and when he needed to, he made some plays. I don't think they're going to get that out of the quarterback position this year. You got Dirty Chez as the most experienced quarterback on your roster. That is so bad. Literally, they said you're going to be our starter, and by week 3 of the preseason, they said, you know what? You're not even going to play in this game. That's how bad you've been for us this preseason. What are you going to do? You got essentially 2 rookies and a veteran journeyman quarterback that you declared not good enough to play in the third preseason game? What do you want me to do? So you're asking the defense essentially to carry you again. I don't know if you can ask the defense to do that this year or not. I'm just saying. I'm not saying. I'm just saying. They're capable. They're more than capable. But last year they won some games because the defense got a pick six. I mean, remember the Kansas City game in week 2? What the defense had to do late in that game to give them a shot? Remember the Raiders game in Oakland? Chris Harris Jr. pick six was the difference in that game. I mean, how many of those games you got? Remember the Cleveland game? Peyton Manning threw like 4 picks. The defense had a pick six. Aqib Talib had a pick six. They picked off and forced fumbles and did all those things to give them a chance to win again. Do you really expect them to have to be able to do that and be able to do that again this year? I don't know. Aqib Talib pick six in week 1 versus the Ravens. Difference in the game. I don't know if they can do that again this year. That's my banana in the tailpipe. I don't know if they can do that again this year. There's a lot of pressure on that defense because I don't think they're going to get a lot of help from their offense. And so that's the Denver Broncos and the Los Angeles Rams in week 3 of the preseason. I will quickly check Twitter to see if there's any heat on Twitter. If not, I'll check. And I'm looking at the live feed right now, and there's nothing there for me. So if there's nothing there and there's nothing here, which there isn't, I'm going to call this an episode. So if it happens in the National Football League, whether big or small, we cover it all here in the lab room. Come back and join me as I continue to break down anything and everything in the National Football League as I continue to run through week 3 of the preseason. Come back and join me. You know why? Because we're changing the game one live feed at a time. See you next time. Oakland Raiders, Tennessee Titans. Next.